What up, YouTube? So today we're gonna have a mukbang and just have fun, have a little conversation, and enjoy some good food. We're actually gonna be eating a Mongolian barbecue.
Hawaiian barbecue.
Oh, Hawaiian barbecue. Oh, okay. Correction.
It's because they do Mongolian barbecue there too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we'll show you guys what we're gonna have.
We have, it's the macaroni salad, white rice, veggies. It has barbecue chicken, barbecue beef, and short ribs. And then we also have the spam musubi, which is spam and white rice wrapped in like sushi nori. And then egg rolls. And I asked for sriracha. And we have duck sauce, soy sauce. And then mine is the same, but except the only difference is I asked for 2 scoops of the macaroni and 1 of the rice. That's the only difference.
That looks good. Alright guys, so we're gonna get to it. We'll see you in a bit. Ready to eat. Dig in.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yay.
So what are we talking about today?
What do you want to talk about?
Surprise me.
Should we tell him how we met?
Yeah, we can talk about that. You want to start it off, Libby?
Yeah.
Right there. Alright, this is so bomb.
Okay, I'll reply to you right now, BFF. This is you. So, how did we meet?
Starbucks.
Yeah, technically we met at Starbucks. That's where we met in person for the first time. But what happened was, see, there's so much like technicalities to it, but it makes it sound so complicated, but it's really not. So, his sister, I had an app. It was called Plenty of Fish. I think it's, people still use it. And his sister had made him a profile there.
Without me knowing.
And I had it because I was sick. And because I kind of wanted to prove a point to my friends that, you know, they had tried to set me up like on dates, on blind dates with people that they knew or whatever. And nothing had worked out, and I said, okay, well, I'll try online dating as well. But if this hasn't worked out, I really highly doubt anything else will. So I remember talking to, well, his sister on his profile. And I was going to delete it. And I said, I won't give out my phone number, but I can give you social media. My reasoning for that was, I can easily block him if he's a creep. And how did you find out?
Well, basically, I was at my mom's house, and I was helping my dad, like, fix something, I forgot. And then it was time to ready for me to, like, I was gonna leave. And so, and so, like, my sister told me, she's like, hey, like, she basically broke it down, saying, like, I created a profile for you, and, like, you know, so you can meet someone. Because at the time I wasn't dating, so I don't know, I guess she just wanted to do it for me, like, so I could find someone nice and, like, that would be good to me. So she told me, like, she did this profile, blah blah blah, and then she had like 2 or 3 girls that she wanted me to talk to, but one of them, which was Yetzi, she told me, like make sure you add her, make sure you talk to her, because like from the beginning, like my sister really liked her, even though it was just like through, I guess, would you call it social media? Yeah. And so yeah, she was like, you know, go home, add her, and I was like, all right, I will. So I got home, showered, everything, ready to go to bed, and she called me, and she's like,
sister.
yeah, she called me. She's like, hey, like, did you add her already? And I was like, no, dude, you know, I just got home, like, you know, I had a long day. She's like, oh, okay, well, make sure you add her. So I was like, okay, I will. So I did, and then we just started talking
On like DMs, basically.
on
Instagram.
Yeah. And then that's when Instagram was like first going live, and then she went live, and then I clicked on the video to watch her, and then well, she was like doing her thing, like, and then little did I know that her best friend was, you know, also watching her. And so, like, you know, I didn't know who those people were. So I just, like, you know, threw out like a little comment here and there. And then your best friend, which
was
is
like, who's Joey?
Yeah. And then, like, I forgot, like, I think I knocked out.
Yeah, you like left the, because at the time I was going live on Facebook, and then I wanted to try Instagram live, and my friends were watching me, and I had just added him, so I didn't think he was gonna hop on. Hop on, but he did. And then we just talked through Instagram. And you actually asked if someday we could switch numbers, and I said, well, let that day be today. And I gave him my number, and to this day sometimes he like throws it out there. But and then from there we started texting. This happened on a Sunday, and then basically all week we started texting. Well, all day Monday and Tuesday, and I was just getting better because I was sick. And you asked, like, well, when are we gonna meet up? And I was really hesitant because I didn't think I was gonna ever meet up with anybody. But he was pretty nice and always very respectful, and I really liked that. And there was just something like different about him. I know it sounds really cliche, but there really was something different about him. So we actually met on a Wednesday, like April 30th, I think. We met at a Starbucks that's downtown, and we just kind of walked around for what would you say, a good 2-3 hours. We just kind of walked around downtown, just talked, and I don't know, I was pretty nervous, but I liked him and I got a good vibe from him. But at the same time, like, I think we were both kind of quiet.
Yeah.
So it was hard to read each other. Like, he didn't know if I was really into it. I didn't know if he was into it. But then it got late. Keep in mind it was a Wednesday, so we both worked the next day, and I had to pee. And now he knows this, but I have like a really small bladder, and I have to pee all the time. But he thought I was using it as an excuse to go home. And so he walked me over to my car and said bye. He gave me a hug. And I really didn't think I was gonna see him again. And if I did, I said he'll probably text me or whatever to hang out like a month from now. Excuse me, and just as friends. But when I got home, you texted me and you asked me if you could have a second date.
Yep.
Which I got excited, I'm not gonna lie, and I said yes. And we went on our second date, but first like official date that Friday. So we didn't see each other on Thursday, but we saw each other on Friday, which was no, May 5th, because it was Cinco de Mayo. So then we met like on May, what, 3rd? Yeah, but we started talking like on the 30th.
Yeah.
So we went on our first date that Friday. We went to Olive Garden. And he kept joking around like, well, where do you want to go? Is that fine? And we decided that, you know, we both like pasta, so Olive Garden was good.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, we can go to McDonald's. And at that time I was working out pretty frequently and I was eating healthy, so I hadn't had McDonald's or any fast food in like months. This was in May, and I think the last time I had fast food was like in November. So it was really, I was like, if you want to go to McDonald's, that's fine. Like, I would have been fine with it, you know, but he was like, no, I can't take you there for our first date.
Yeah, because it's like you're trying to impress somebody. And it's like you're not going to impress them by taking them to McDonald's out of all places. So.
But I was down for it.
Yeah, but still. I don't know, like I felt like I was going to look like.
Cheap?
Yeah. And that is not cheap.
I know you're not.
So.
But then again, I think at that time I was also in my like, I'm independent, I don't need a man kind of stage. That if you would have taken me to McDonald's, I would have been fine because...
Well, we didn't go to McDonald's. Alright then.
True that. But I really would have been fine. And then what happened after Olive Garden?
Oh, so we decided that we were gonna go watch a movie, which is like the movies isn't that far from Olive Garden.
No, they're like down the street.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, you know, we should go watch a movie. She's like, all right, cool, I'm down. I was like, all right. So on our way over there, I was following her. And then I texted her. I was like, hey, how about, you know, we go to my place and, you know, we could just watch a movie and, you know, hang out. And then real quick, she just like pulled over.
Because you texted me like at a red light. So by the time I got it and read it, the light had turned green. And we were literally down the street from the movies. So I just pulled over to the nearest street.
And then I got off. And I told her, I was like, well, we know we can go hang out at my place, you know, watch a movie. And then right away I could tell. You were just like, really?
I was a little hesitant, not gonna lie.
And I was like, well, to me it wasn't anything, you know, big because like, I didn't plan to do anything. This is like my first time meeting her, you know?
Yeah.
So, we ended up like, coming over. And then we hung out. Watched the movie, and it wasn't no like Netflix and chill kind of thing.
It was Netflix and chill.
Well,
literally we just watched Netflix and chilled. The most that happened was I held his hand, and we were just watching. It was pretty cute. We were just watching TV, and his bed was kind of low at the time, and he had his big old 60-inch hung up, so we were both like laying down looking up, just holding hands. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, that was a good way to end our first date.
Yeah, which I went home like at midnight, and then the next day we hung out The next day was Saturday. We hung out like around, it was definitely like afternoon, because I remember being home doing laundry and cleaning in the morning. But we pretty much hung out all day, right? To the point, yeah, it was literally all day, because I went home. I had tried to go home since like midnight, 1 in the morning. And you walked me to my car, and we hung out there till like 3. And was that the first time we kissed?
I think so.
Because I remember the first time we kissed, we were outside. Oh, you know what? Yes, it was, because that's when your brother came home in his limo, and you had to like move your car.
Oh yeah.
And he was a little drunk, and I don't know what he was telling you, because I was there with you. And then we went and we hung out outside.
Yeah, I remember.
And I ended up going home till like later, but I was like, I have to go home. Like, I still live at home with my parents, and you know, for a girl to be out all night, basically, that my parents were not gonna have that. Like, even though we didn't do anything, it was just out of respect. I needed to go home. And I went home for like an hour or 2, and then we wanted to go watch the sunrise. So I came back and I picked you up and I took you. And we actually couldn't watch it because the park was closed.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go take him to this park, but it's like up in a hill, and it overlooks the ocean and basically like the whole city. But it was too early. They hadn't opened it yet, so we just went to the beach, and then we drove back. We got Starbucks. And at that point, it was like 8 in the morning, and my mom called, and she was like, "Did you come home?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just actually left early again." And that's when she started to get a little suspicious. Like, okay, you went out on Wednesday, you went out on Friday, you went out early today.
What's going on?
Yeah. But she was like, okay. And then we hung out all day that day on Sunday. And then what happened? What happened later that day? I think we ended up actually napping, right?
And then we woke up. You were still laying in bed. And then I asked if you wanted to be my girlfriend. And then you was like, yes. And I was like, yes. So, here we are.
But we were kind of like spooning, right? Because that's really good. Because you wanted me to be like turned around, because you kind of didn't want me to look at your face. Because I remember you asking me like, so I need to ask you something, and I was like, okay. And you said, well, we both kind of know where this is heading, so, you know, I wanted to know if, and you said if, you know, and I was like, what? And I remember trying to turn around, and you were like, no, stay like that. And you said, well, you know, like, eventually we know where this is going. So you said something along the lines of like, why even wait, or like, what's the point of waiting if like we both knew where we were heading, you know?
Hell yeah.
So we made it official that Sunday on May 7th. And I remember telling him like, You know, I've never jumped into a relationship this early. Like, we met on Wednesday, it's Sunday, and we're making it official.
But you never met someone like me.
That's true.
Alrighty.
But I do remember telling him, and I remember telling my mom too about this. I said, I just have 2 things that I want to ask. Do you remember what those 2 things were?
No.
I just wanted to not say I love you, even though we were official. To not say I love you unless we meant it. Unless we actually felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing was no sex yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had officially met and whatever, but we also had just met.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want it to become more like an infatuation, or, you know, I mean, let's just be real. If sometimes the sex can be good, but maybe you don't get along. And I did not want our relationship to just be about sex. And like, oh, we just met and now we're having sex, so now we think we feel something for each other. I wanted us to actually get to know each other before we got there, even though we were officially going out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. What else? And then I remember the next day I actually met up with your sister.
Oh yeah. For that little outing that was scheduled on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. The crazy part about this, you guys, is that his sister, the one that set us up, I was supposed to meet her like the Wednesday or Thursday before that, like a week before I officially met him in person. Because we were friends on Facebook. We were like in this little group, this little local group of just girls, and they decided to have like a dinner. But I was sick. That's when I was getting sick, and I got off like at 5 something. The dinner was like at 6, and I decided not to go because I didn't want to rush over there and get there in my scrubs and be sick and whatever. So I missed it. But had I gone, I would have met his sister like a week before him. But I ended up meeting your sister. Do I have seaweed on my teeth?
Not anymore.
But I ended up meeting his sister the day after we made it official. Which was, I was so nervous because I had already said I would go and I couldn't really back out of it. But I also was like, oh, that's his sister, you know, and I wonder if she knows. I wonder if she knows we were talking. Excuse me. Me not knowing that she was the one that set up the whole account. But she was really nice. We actually sat next to each other. And there was like a window in front of us so I could see her from the reflection. And then after that I came home. Well, I didn't come home. I went to your house.
Yeah.
So I went to work. I got home late on Sunday. I went to work on Monday, and then I went to dinner after that, and then I came over to his house. And my routine up until that point had always been work. I would go home, change really quick, go to the gym, and then I'd come home like later on and then just like have like a salad or whatever, shower, get ready for the next day. And that was my routine Monday through Friday. So not only did I start going out, and then one day I kind of just didn't make it home from work, and my mom called like at 12:30, and she was like, where have you been all day? And I remember her telling me like, I want you home now. You need to be home in 10 minutes. She didn't care where I was. She was like, you need to be home in 10 minutes. Like, I could have been like in Ventura or whatever. I needed 20, 30 minutes to get home. But she was like, I don't care, bitch. You need to be home in 10 minutes. And I got home and she was waiting for me in the living room. And she was like, I know you're an adult, but you need to like tell us where you're at. And then she was like, go to sleep. We'll talk tomorrow. And then I told her, well, you know I haven't been coming home. You know something's going on. And I was like, I actually have someone that I'm going to bring you on Saturday. And I took you to my house for the first time on Saturday.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't know.
It was a surprise to him. And it was to me too. That he didn't know.
I thought he knew. Because I had told my mom that we were dating.
That doesn't mean your mom was gonna tell him.
Well, she
Correct?
usually does.
Yeah, but maybe it's a topic that she don't want to tell your dad.
Obviously, because she didn't. I mean, I'm sure my dad had somewhat of an idea. Because I never brought friends over like that. Whether they were girls or guy friends, I was never like, hey mom or dad, mom and dad, on Friday, Saturday, or on Sunday, at this time, I'm going to bring over my friend, who's just my friend, because I want you to meet them. If they were my friends, I would have been like, hey, like if you were my friend, I would have taken you home or whatever. I've been like, hi mom, dad, I want to introduce you. This is Joey. He's my friend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been like, hey, I'm gonna bring somebody over on Saturday at this time. You know. So I'm sure like he picked up on it. But it was still kind of a shock, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell like right away that he didn't even know. I was like, oh.
I think he thought maybe like we were just barely talking. But no.
Surprise.
I was like, this is my boyfriend. And he was like, this what? And then, I don't know, we just talked. Like, we sat there on the couch and just talked. And they asked him stuff about himself. You know, where he worked, what he did for work, where his parents were from. Well, my mom liked you from the beginning. I don't think that my dad didn't like you. I know he appreciated you going to the house and like formally introducing yourself and like, you know, talking to him like a man. Because at the end of the day, like, you were dating his daughter, you know. And I know like he appreciated that. That you went and like introduced yourself and talked to him.
Let him know who she was hanging out with.
Yeah. And you let him know like from the beginning, like, I know she's gotten home late sometimes or whatever, but I want you to know that like she's taken care of.
Till this day. She's still been taken care of.
But I mean, now my parents know.
Well, no.
Like, they trust you, you know?
I hope so.
They do. I mean, my mom loves you literally like
one of her own.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she doesn't just love him because he's my husband. I could tell like she loves you for you. And I think also because he's always been like you've shown your true colors, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you've always been respectful, appreciative, and you've shown that like you really do care for me. Like you don't have to tell them, they can just tell. So they know like I'm in good hands. And he gets along really, really well with my siblings, which I love. My little brother loves him. My little sisters do too, but one of them is a little more, and it's not just with you. She's a little more reserved, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, like, she loves to joke around, and the fact that like you joke around with her, like she loves that too. You know?
Yeah.
They like to like, how do you say it? How do you describe your relationship with Nana?
She's like my little sister.
Yeah, they really do have like a little sister, big brother relationship. Like, they care for each other, but they also tease each other here and there.
It's like a love and hate relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was nice for me to see because I grew up basically as an only child. Like my little sister, did you hear that?
No.
Oh, that was my jaw.
Oh,
I
damn.
like pop. My little sister came when I was 11. So, you know, the age difference is like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I never had like an older brother or an older sister or even a little sister up until I was 11. I do have an uncle though who our relationship was very much like that. But at the end of the day, he was my uncle. So if he wanted me to get in trouble, he could. Like, he could get me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really full. I don't know. And my dad, like, my dad's a little more reserved too.
Yeah.
But, you know, he knows I'm in good hands, and I think that that's really important to parents, especially dads, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with their daughters. Like, I'm sure you can relate, like, you know, with your dad and your sisters. Like, I'm sure it's different. Like, I'm sure it'll be different when one of your sisters gets married for your dad than when you got married, you know?
Yeah.
And I can remember, like, the day we got married, when we walked out, my mom was crying. And I remember your mom going to her and telling her, like, you know, I understand, because that's your daughter.
My mom was all calm, like, hey girl, come here.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
You know, but she was like, but she's in good hands. And she did, you know, your mom let my mom know, like, he's a really good guy.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But, you know, she kind of understood that. She was like, because she's a mom too and she has daughters, you know. But it wasn't her daughter, it was her son. So she was like a little more calm about it.
Well, it just, honestly, I think it depends on the parent. Because, like, kids are kids, you know. Then they will always be your kids.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's a boy or girl, like, you're still... basically, if it's a boy or girl, like, you're still giving that little piece of you away.
Yeah.
Once they get married.
I think also because I'm the oldest. I'm the first one to get married, you know. And they were like, oh shit, like she's all grown up now. She's married.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure when I have kids, like I'll cry at their wedding. Oh please, you probably will too.
No. I'm careful.
We'll see when you have a little girl. How you're gonna feel when she gets
She's never
married.
gonna date. She's gonna be homeschooled.
And she could be homeschooled and still find a boyfriend and get married.
No.
Why not?
Because we're gonna live in the desert.
Who is we? Because I'm not moving to the desert.
We all are.
No, we're not. We'll see. We'll see when he has a daughter years from now. And she gets married. I'm sure he'll be like, oh, it's okay. Just another kid. I'm gonna ask your brother next time I see him.
Oh, I can tell you what you're gonna say right now. Exactly what I told you.
She never gonna get married?
Yeah.
He said she's allowed to date after she gets married, which I don't know how that's gonna work, but
Exactly, but she's never gonna date, so therefore she's never gonna get married.
that's fucked up. You know she will. She's really pretty. She's gonna have all them little boys after her, and your brother's gonna be like, "Nah, my baby girl."
Oh, I don't think those are the words he's gonna choose.
Yeah, knowing your brother, those are not gonna be the words, but
It's gonna be opposite. It's gonna be like, what you said about son? And then yeah. I'm like really full. I'm so eating the rice.
I still have a lot of food. You want some?
No, thank you.
But anyway, yeah. Oh, so after we made it official, we sidetracked a little bit. After we made it official, we made it official in May, and it's gonna be a year in a couple of days. You proposed what, 4 months later?
6.
5. We made it official on May 7th. 5 months. And he proposed to me on, do you remember the date?
When I proposed?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, no.
It was August 9th. August 9th. No. October 9th.
I was like, oh.
A month later. No, October 9th. Sorry. I don't know why I was thinking August. We got engaged October 9th. And then it gets crazier. We got married. Oh, you proposed October 9th. I moved in October 19th. Or the 20th. It was on a Friday.
Yeah.
And then we got married on November 15th. A little over 6 months. Like 6 months and some days. after we met and after we started dating. We were married. And like living together. That's crazy, huh? So by the time we reached our 1 year anniversary, we were already
married and living together.
Yeah. And about to move into like our first place. Our first official place. That's crazy, huh? It's crazy, but like in a good way. Like it's crazy to think about. Like we met and like 3 days later we were like officially going out. And then 5 months later we were engaged. 6 months later we were married. A year later we were already living together. Had been living together for a little bit. We're married. We're about to go into our first apartment together. And we already had like a car together and everything. We had a car together before we even got married. because my car took shit, and then I was like stressing out and all this crap. And then he helped me get a car. And I was barely your fiance, and you had barely known him for like 6 months. But
you make it sound like it's all bad.
No, it's just like when you think back at it, it's like, wow, we moved quick, you know. But from the very beginning, since we met, and that's one of the reasons why we started dating so fast, is that we really did both feel like we had just known each other for a long time, right? So we'll see what happens in the future. We'll see what happens at the 1 year mark.
For what?
For when we get married. And then we'll like, we've been married for a year.
That's not that far along.
I know, it's only like 2.5 months away.
Oh man, that's like around the corner.
Isn't that crazy? Like we've been married for almost a year.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It has been pretty fun though.
It has.
That we can say we've only had like one actual fight. And that was when we had only been married for like 3 months. And it wasn't even that bad. I think because we didn't know how to resolve it, it actually turned to a fight. But whatever we were arguing about, I don't even remember. But it turned into a fight because we couldn't agree on how to solve our little argument that we had. But that was only the only fight that we had that I can remember, right? And then of course, like everybody else, like we've had disagreements, but we've gotten a lot better at it. And a lot of times we just agree to disagree. Like, okay, we're not gonna see eye to eye on this, but it's not anything that's gonna like break us, so let's agree to disagree and move past it. Like, we'll have a conversation, like I want to see your point, you want to see my point, but we know we're not gonna agree, so we just like have a discussion and we move on, because I'm always right.
Anyways.
Yes or yes?
No.
Can you help me cut this piece?
Use your hands.
No, I want to use my hands. Use your hands.
No, I don't want to. I thought you were full.
I'm getting full. So this whole time, have not been able to pick up stuff very well.
Oh, I did.
You're gonna see a lot of like me struggling to pick up like macaroni. Is there anything that you want to add to the video?
No.
So yeah, that's how we met. I feel like we sound very not excited about it. But we're gonna tell you why. Not of how we met.
Oh, I was like, what?
But filming this whole mukbang.
Oh.
Mukbang.
Mukbang, yeah.
But it's because we had already previously filmed this,
and it was
with
late.
This very exact topic. But we had Olive Garden. We had a lot of food. We had like 4 plates and a salad and some soup
and bread
and breadsticks. But we lost a lot of our footage. So when Joey was trying to edit, it was really hard. The camera's moving when you do that. It was really hard because we would be talking about something like we are now, and then the next clip that was supposed to be like you know, one continuous conversation would skip over like a lot of minutes, and then we were in a completely different conversation. So it was really hard to even try to edit, because it would like stop like mid-sentence and then pick up at a whole other conversation. So trying to edit that was not gonna make sense, because it was like going from what we're talking about now to a completely different topic, and it's like, how do you even piece that together, you know? So we just decided to refilm and do this topic again. So that's why maybe this time around we're not like as enthusiastic about it, because we've already had, it's literally trying to have the same conversation twice.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, you know, that's why on our end it's coming off like, oh, why aren't they excited to talk about their love story? This because this is our second time trying to record our how we met story. But we promise you that next time it's gonna be a little more lit. And then we do plan on doing more with some special guests, and they've agreed to it. So look out for that. And we will actually be uploading a lot more videos on this channel. So stay tuned for that. What? No. So rude. Also, I just started a new job and I'm really tired. So, and I'm really full, and I was just looking like I'm playing with my food. Why are you making faces? So rude. We can just stop recording now. You want to do an outro?
Yeah.
Okay. Say what it means, guys.
Alright, YouTube. So this concludes our video for this mukbang. We will be continuing to do more videos, different topics, and if there's any like topics, you know, that you guys want us to talk about, or like if you guys have any questions, you know, just comment below and let us know, and then, you know, we'll make it happen.
Also, shout out to BFF for encouraging us to do these types of videos.
Yeah, because like honestly, we were just gonna do like regular everyday, yeah, but we never really thought about doing like mukbangs and stuff like that. So I mean, it's fun.
But they're really fun, yeah.
I just love to eat. So
I mean, samesies. But it's fun. Like, it feels like we're just eating and having conversation with our friends, which we are. But you know, it feels more like you guys are here. If that makes sense. But
yeah.
Okay. We'll see you in the next one.